Hi. I had a few questions after I posted the picture of this guitar on the PhatPhish Facebook page. A few people asking me, what's the story behind the Telecaster. So I thought I'd do this little video to talk to you a little bit about the guitar. Basically, it's a self-build Bitsocaster project that I finished recently. If you've seen any of the videos that I do on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, most of the time I'm playing my Thompson custom guitar, the orange-red sunburst one, the Strat style. That's one I had custom built for me, and it's pretty much everything that I want from a guitar. So there wasn't anything I particularly thought, I need a guitar that does this, or I need a guitar that does that. But talking to my friend Neil about guitars and custom guitars and so on, and the conversation just kind of drifted, and we got into the idea of building parts-based guitars. And I thought it'd actually be quite a nice little project, just getting a body, getting a neck, and all the various other bits of hardware and putting it together. As much as anything for the fun of doing the project, rather than because I was looking for a particular guitar at the end of it. Looked around online, get a bit of inspiration. I ended up coming up with the thin line Telecaster style body. This one's basically a single piece of wood, carved out down here for the controls, and up here all the way around the edge, probably about half an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick there, and then the solid block down the middle. It's got the electrics on, all made out of a single piece of swamp ash, and then a flat single piece top glued on top of that, so there's no real visible join. Really nice piece of timber. It came sort of rough sanded down to about 100 grit. So what I did with that was, because I don't have the facilities for spraying or anything like that, was I wanted to hand finish it. So it's all been finished with Danish oil. So it's a case of sanding the guitar down, rubbing. This is like an oak finish Danish oil, so there's a slight stain to it, so it's darkened the wood down quite nicely. Few coats of Danish oil, get that into the wood, and then once that's done, getting some silicon carbide or wet and dry paper soaked in the Danish oil, and sanding it, and really getting a slurry of all the dust, sawdust and the oil, and that gets into the grain of the wood and kind of fills it in, makes it really smooth. So hang that up to dry for a couple of weeks. Once that was done, I got some polyurethane varnish, what's branded as this ultra diamond, super tough polyurethane varnish. Water or diluted that down with some white spirit, probably about 50-50, and then just wiped that on with a lint-free cloth. Just gradually building it up, loads of really thin layers, so you don't get any sort of really visible streaking. So probably about a dozen coats of that, and then final very light sanding down with some wet and dry silicon carbide paper and water, just to get that smooth. So that's the body. The photograph on the website when I ordered it showed a normal Telecaster style control routing here. When the guitar body came, it didn't have that, and I was actually quite pleased, because I prefer having the guitar controls mounted from behind and just having the smooth piece of wood. So that sort of little mistake worked to my advantage. It's a nice body. It's about 3.5 pounds. Just for the body, which is it feels quite nice. It's not super light, but you do get quite a bit of weight relief from having the chambers top and bottom. The neck is a 22 fret Telecaster style neck. It's by Mighty Might. Again, just bought online. It's a licensed by Fender, so it's pretty close to a vintage Fender style neck. Nice chunky frets on it. Pre-finished with a nitrocellulose lacquer all the way around on the back and the headstock, so nice and smooth to play on the back. But what I wanted to do on the headstock was I sanded that down and gave that some treatment with the Danish oil and the varnish as well, just to darken it down, because the lightness of the maple just contrasted too much with the dark of the body. Being a lighter wood, the Danish oil hasn't stained it down quite the same as the body, but certainly it's darker than the original maple, so I prefer that. In terms of hardware, apart from the pickups, the guitar body itself and the neck, all the hardware came from Northwest Guitars. who were absolutely fantastic company to deal with, really good service, really fast, really polite, good value parts, good range of stuff, so I'm quite happy to recommend them, and there's a link down there in the information section on YouTube if you're interested, if you're in the market for any guitar parts. I strongly recommend Northwest Guitars, really good bunch of guys. So they supplied most of the hardware for the guitar. So in terms of hardware, I've got some Wilkinson locking machine heads here, a couple of roller string trees, because on Telecaster headstock you need a couple of string trees just to get the break angle across the nut for the strings. The neck came as standard with just a plastic nut, so I took that out and it's been replaced with a graphite one. I didn't actually do that myself. I thought that might be beyond my capabilities, because in case I couldn't get it out cleanly, you need really specialist saws, which I didn't have. So John at GXG Guitars in Newcastle, link down there, really good guy, did a couple of bits and bobs on this that was beyond my scope. So he did the nut replacement. Down at the body, solid brass bridge plate, 6 individual saddles. I know some people say the vintage style with the 3 double saddles gives you a better sound. Personally, I prefer the flexibility of being able to fine-tune individual saddles. It sounds pretty good. All the hardware finished in black. Electrics, we've got a volume, tone, and a 3-way, like Les Paul style toggle switch for bridge, both in neck pickups. And the pickups themselves, it's probably going to sound like an active sonic Hevesy. These are actually Seymour Duncan hot rails. Now, people will say, oh, using a high output humbucker type pickup in a thin line is just wrong. Actually, I think it sounds quite good. I took a gamble on what it would sound like, and it wasn't too bad. And don't forget, on any guitar, you've got a constantly variable, infinitely variable gain control with the volume, so you can always back it off a little bit if you don't want quite so much gain, and then turn it up when you really do need to drive the amp. So basically, that's the guitar. That's the finished article. Probably took me about 6 or 7 months from inception to completion. What with one thing and another. So most of the work done, I managed to do myself. Replacing the nut, I didn't want to take the chance with. Some of the wiring, I got my dad to do, because my dad is really is a wizard with the soldering iron, and some of the wiring got a little bit fiddly. So he gave me a hand with that. It's the sort of job dads are brilliant for, because they always have like better tools and better shed and better gear than you. So my dad gave me a hand with that, and so the final setup, as well as the nut replacement, was done by John at GXG Guitars in Newcastle. So that's the guitar. Let's plug it in and hear a few sounds. Okay, so this is the bridge pickup on its own, volume and tone all the way up. Both the pickups together. And the neck pickup on its own. Okay, switch on to the dirty channel now. This is the bridge pickup on its own. Both pickups together. Neck pickup on its own. Incidentally, the first set of pickups that I got for this, the neck pickup, when I got it wired in, was sounding a little bit thin. John at GXG checked it out and he said it was actually only running on 1 coil. Didn't actually sound bad. It sounded a bit more, kind of a bit more Telecasterish, quite thin, bit jangly. Not a bad sound, but not the sound I wanted. I wanted the more humbucker type sound, so managed to get that replaced. That was no problem. But it did kind of put me in mind of thinking, well, the tapped sound out of these pickups wasn't too bad, so I might get around to putting like a push-pull coil tap switch on the tone control at some point, so to give me a bit more versatility with the sounds. But for now, that's the guitar as it stands. Self-build Bitsocaster. Oh yeah, the other thing's got Jim Dunlop dual design strap locks. All my guitars have got those, because if you can keep your strap fixed to the guitar firmly, you don't need to worry about it falling off while you're playing, which is really important. All shielded inside, plenty of copper tape to stop you getting any hum. And yeah, that's it. That's the self-build Bitsocaster. So for those of you who expressed an interest after I posted the original photograph, thanks for your interest. Hope this video has kind of given you a bit more information about the guitar, and maybe has inspired you to go out and have a go at doing it yourself. Loads of tutorials, and people giving you like how-tos on YouTube and so on. So there's plenty of information out there to guide you along. So if you do decide to have a go building your own guitar, I'd suggest you do it. If you've got the tools and the ability with them, it is great fun and very, very rewarding to have kind of like a one of a kind at the end of the process. So there you go. That's the guitar, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon. Bye for now.